Ladies and gentlemen, from the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace and Justice, Deacon Gerald Celente.
Hello, everybody. This is Deacon Gerald Celente of the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace and Justice. 3 areas that the governments no longer talk about. Matter of fact, they steal our freedom, they lie about peace, and there is no justice. Those are the facts. And speaking of the facts and what's going on and how dangerous the times ahead are, these are a few headlines from the news. Trump calls for the annihilation of Yemen and the U.S. war to subjugate the Middle East. This is from World Socialist website. The Trump administration doubles down on its plan to ethnically cleanse and annex the Gaza Strip. The U.S. has launched a new military offensive targeting Yemen and ultimately Iran as part of a systemic escalation of the U.S.-Israel war to reshape the Middle East under Washington's domination. The war against Yemen began under the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner Barack Obama. And it continues. The United States supplied Saudi Arabia with the military intelligence and refueled their jets so they could bomb and destroy Yemen, killing over 500,000 people. Many of them children. They go on to write in the World Social website, on Sunday, the U.S. military launched a major attack on Yemen, the impoverished country of 34.7 million people. On Wednesday, President Donald Trump pledged, quote, to completely annihilate Yemen, declaring, quote, it's not even a fair fight, never will be. They will be completely annihilated. And he said Iran, quote, will suffer the consequences, and those consequences will be dire. Yep. They go on to say, Trump invoked the words of his political role model, Adolf Hitler. On March 30th, 1941, Hitler told his assembled generals that the war Nazi Germany was planning against the Soviet Union would be a struggle of annihilation. Same words, different time. Yep. This is the Donald Trump who sold himself as a peace candidate. Watch some of these clips.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. Around the world, I'm moving quickly to end wars, settle conflicts, and restore the planet to peace. I want peace, and I don't want to see everybody being killed. And you take a look at the death in the Middle East and the death that's taking place between Russia and Ukraine. It's been going on, and we're going to end it. But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
I want to see the Middle East get back to peace, and real peace, but a peace that's going to be a lasting peace. And that's going to happen. I feel really, truly confident it's going to happen, and I believe it's going to happen soon.
So we're going to have peace through strength. We're not going to have to fight.
So if I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours. I want immediate peace. We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden.
Well, there are 2 ways Iran can be handled, militarily or you make a deal. I would prefer to make a deal.
We will restore calm and stability to the region and expand prosperity, opportunity, and hope to our nations and for all people of the Middle East, including the Arab and Muslim nations. Very important.
We want the Arab and Muslim nations to have peace and have tranquility and have great lives.
How about that for a bunch of lies? Great lives, great lives. Yep, one after another, one Trump lie after another. We want to have peace on earth all over. Oh, yeah, he said that in September when he was running for president last year. We are going to have peace through strength. We will never fight. Well, he's saying he's going to annihilate Yemen, and they're fighting. There are two ways Iran could be handled: militarily, or you make a deal. I am not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. We said that when he was running for president back in October. And again, he said, if I were president, I would have had the war settled, meaning the Ukraine war, in one day, 24 hours. A total lie. Keeps going on. I want immediate peace. I am moving quickly to end wars, settle conflicts, and restore the planet to peace. I want peace. That was this past January 25th. Yep. Ramping up war in front of everybody's eyes for all to see. Yemen strikes test Trump. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Vow to avoid forever wars. At the very end of the article. On the eve of the election win in November, Trump vowed to stay out of wars. Quote, I am not going to start a war. I am going to stop wars. Total lie. A total lie in front of everybody's eyes for all to see and everyone with ears to listen to. He is a liar. He is not for peace. Again, he calls the Houthis barbarians. Oh, but you have to support the Zionist genocidal war, or else you're blacklisted. Look what he did to Columbia University. Look how they're arresting people that are coming out against genocide. Yep. One lie after another. At least 85 Palestinians were killed on Thursday, 133 wounded during Israeli airstrikes. Israeli military said it struck, sites into east and south Lebanon. In violation of the ceasefire agreement. Oh, yeah, but that's okay. Trump supports it. You can kill anybody any way you want as long as you're Israel and the United States. Ready for this? Israeli newspaper, this is from Middle East Monitor. Haaretz accused the government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of derailing the Gaza ceasefire agreement, not Hamas. On his 16th day, the parties were supposed to begin discussing the second phase, which was supposed to end with the release of all remaining hostages. Israel refused. Haaretz said Israel also broke its promises to withdraw troops from the Philadelphia corridor on its border between Gaza and Egypt between the 42nd and 50th day of the ceasefire. Quote, moreover, Israel announced that it was halting the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza and closing the border crossings. This decision, like the energy minister's decision to halt the limited amount of electricity Israel provides to Gaza, equally violates Israel's commitment to the agreement that aid would continue entering as long as it takes on the second stage are ongoing, end quote. The first stage of the deal ended in early March, but Netanyahu refused to enter negotiations on the second phase. Instead, he wants to extend the first phase of the deal. Hamas has refused to proceed under these conditions, insisting that Israel abide by the terms of the ceasefire and immediately start negotiations for the second phase, which includes Israel's withdrawal from Gaza and a complete end to the war. And they refuse to do that in Israel. Haaretz also criticized Netanyahu's claims about Hamas' rejection of all proposals by U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff to extend the ceasefire. Yep. Nearly 50,000 Palestinians have been killed, mostly women and children, since the war began last October. Excuse me, not last October, in October 2023. Haaretz. Trump fully supports Israel's actions in Gaza. Hamas, quote, chose to play games instead of releasing hostages, White House says. Isn't that something? Hamas chose to play games. The president made it clear to Hamas that if they did not release all the hostages, there would be hell to pay. And that's from Caroline Leavitt, Speaker for Trump, the House Press Secretary. Hell to pay. Can you imagine this language? Hell to pay. Israel moves troops back into Gaza Strip. That's the Wall Street Journal. Israel's defense minister threatens residents of Gaza, quote, with utter destruction and devastation. Isn't that nice? Could you imagine if these were Jewish people and the Arabs were in control and they said, Arab defense minister threatens residents of Gaza, let's say they were Jewish, with utter destruction and devastation? Oh my God, how terrible. It's okay. You could do it to the Arabs. Doesn't make any difference. Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz issued a direct threat to the civilian population of Gaza on Wednesday, telling the residents of Gaza that they will face utter destruction and devastation if Hamas refuses to free the hostages. But Israel could hold all the prisoners. We won't call them hostages. The thousands that they've thrown in jail under no charges. But you have to release the Israeli hostages, but we'll keep the Palestinian prisoners. Yep. This is terrible. And what's going on? With the Ukraine war that Trump said he was going to end in 24 hours. That's still going on. We got banned from TikTok for saying that Ukraine's going to ramp up this war. False flag event to keep support going. And now Europe is building up support. These are headlines from the major media. For example, the New York Times. Europe's leaders hope military spending could ignite growth. Could you imagine this? Their economies are going down, but we're going to bring it up with military spending. No, that doesn't bring the economy up. That brings your country deeper into debt. If you want to build the economy up, you manufacture products that people could buy, not manufacture products to kill people. That only go to the military-industrial complex. Canada, set to join the European Union in military industry push. Canada has advanced talk with the European Union to join the bloc's new project to expand its military industry. Oh, Canada, the economy that's going down as well. One economy going down after another. And what are they doing? Spending more money for the military-industrial complex. This is from the World Socialist website. Spain's PSOE Summa government calls for record military spending without parliamentary debate. Spain's ruling Socialist Party are finalizing plans to raise military spending, the largest increase in military spending in history. Yes, the fascist dictatorship, and it just keeps going on. Fascist dictatorship then, fascist dictatorship now. Need more proof? Oh, remember the country that America and the West didn't like very much, or not the West, but a number of countries, called Germany, World War I, World War II? Well, they're ramping up militarily. That's right. Oh, their economy's in recession. The people are hurting, but we're going to war. Oh, don't believe me? Listen to the facts. This is a headline story in the Financial Times. Bundestag backs Merz $1 trillion spending plan. Yep. These decisions we are making today for our country's defense readiness is no less than the first major step towards a new European defense community. Heil Merz! Yeah. We are combining the restoration of our defense capacity with the modernization of our infrastructure. Yep. More war. When all else fails, they take you to war. And that's what they're doing. Their economies are failing all over the world. They're ramping up the Ukraine war and the Israel war. During a 4-hour debate, critics accuse Merz of burdening future generations with a huge debt. But Boris Pistorius, current SPD defense minister, argued Russia, which had become, quote, Europe's greatest security threat, justified the ambitious reforms to keep modernizing the Bundeswehr. We are securing our future. More war. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies in the final sense a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and not clothed. The world in arms is not spending money alone. It is spending the sweat of its labors, the genius of the scientists, the hopes of the children. This is not a way of life at all in every true sense. Under the clouds of war, it is humanity hanging on a cross of iron. Yep. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, 5-star president, supreme commander of the Allied forces in World War II, and 2-term American president. Humanity is now hanging on a cross of iron. They're ramping up war. Maniacs are in charge in a country near you. If we don't have peace on earth, it's going to be hell on earth. We're doing everything we can, but we need your support. So please donate. We have to get a major peace movement going, and we can't do it without any money. And not a penny from the billionaires, not a penny, or the multimillionaires. If we had $1 billion, we'd have peace tomorrow. So please do what you can to support us. We have to push for peace. And I'm doing everything I can as the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice's deacon. Thank you. Amen and amen.